Hell yeah. So check this out. So I was scrolling through TikTok or something, and I saw this fucking thing about flat Earth, and it was like, oh, the North Pole is so much warmer than Antarctica, and there's species, and you can kind of live up there if you really wanted to on the North Pole, like some year round and shit. They have seasons and summers, and it's like, why is Antarctica so much more like cold,
uninhabitable?
Yeah. And it was like, it must be because the sun goes around in a circle and blah 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 blah.
Precession.
Instead of like we're on a disc and there's an ice wall. And it's like, come on, man. You don't think that maybe it's because Antarctica is at like 7,500 feet on average, and like the North Pole's at sea level? Right. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm just saying, Antarctica's a continent, and the North Pole's just kind of ice. That's whatever. Anyway, so then I start thinking like, like it is fucking warmer, down there. And why is it warmer down at sea level? Well, because the Earth's a mass. It's energy, like
right.
E equals MC squared, like Einstein said. Yeah. Like energy and mass are like the same thing.
Right.
Except for mass is energy, which energy is not always mass because of photons and whatnot. But there's your mosquito.
I know, I see him.
And I see that motherfucker. Get him.
I'm going to get him.
Clap his ass.
Give him a chance. Oh, that's not a mosquito.
Oh. Well, he scared you like one.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like, okay, so energy from mass, pulls energy. That's what creates gravity, right? Pulls things down, right? And it's like, it even pulls light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like energy manipulates and it finds each other, right? It like bends time when it does it. So I'm thinking like, that's why the Earth rotates around the sun and shit and has an orbit, and I'm like, people create energy, animals create energy.
Right.
So how do they create energy? Because energy can be created even like kinetic energy, from things moving, particles move, right. You know what I mean? So I'm like, people create energy. So if a person were to work out and want to go out to the bar, and try to pick up somebody, like a girl, guy, whatever they want to do nowadays, fuck. But they want to go pick somebody up. What do? You got to have a little more energy, right?
Yeah.
You got to be bouncing around. You got to be into everything. Well, you got to do this, that.
That makes sense. The positive mindset, right?
Not just even that. Like, it's your photons.
You're saying literally
it's your aura. It's your energy put off. So when you get close enough to another energy, I believe that you have like this orbit of energy around you. So what happens is their energy pulls off. And your energy force is so strong, it pulls around you and goes back to them in an orbit. And then they're just more attracted to you, no matter what. So number one, move around a lot, right?
Yeah.
Number two, what do they say? Red's like the color. Go out there and fucking wear like a red t-shirt or something.
Red.
Go look like a stop sign, run around and fucking just woo, woo, woo.
Dance a lot. But you'll get all the chicks.
But that's crazy though. So like everything that light and everything that's bending into our time, sure. Through energy that's being pulled over here, is it creating a time ripple almost? Could that be like an effect for the Mandela effect?
I mean, by some theories, any decision that you make that changes that alters any course at all, you create another timeline.
Well, here's the thing: is back in the day, like Adam was supposed to have lived what, like 950 years, something like stupid 960, right. something dumb, mm-hmm. right? Like, and people don't live like that anymore. So check this out. Here's another thing. There used to be a 13th constellation, Ophiuchus.
Yeah. Which
Ophiuchus was the snake bearer. And so I looked into this. I'm like, what is this about? And I'm like, okay, so the thing was,
this is biblical,
that the serpent and Asiphus or something like this, a person.
Yeah.
The serpent gave this person an herb. And it showed this person how to, like, the herb allowed this person to live forever.
Or a fungus.
So Zeus fucking sent this fucking person into the stars.
Okay.
Into the heavens. And so that's where this constellation comes from, our 13th constellation.
That's the Adam and Eve story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this one was left out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And check this out. Think about this. Now we have 12 constellations. This one was left out. This serpent bearer, this Adam and Eve story, this mythology story.
That's interesting. Because the number 12 is pretty historically and like biblically
Yeah,
very
but
important.
Think about this. Listen to this. If you took 13 months and you split them all up into 28 days, our calendar would actually be more accurate than it is with 12 months in our leap year right now.
We wouldn't have to have a leap.
We wouldn't have to have a leap year, and it'd be more accurate.
Right. Well, there's a reason they took it out.
Yeah, why'd they cut the 13th out?
I don't know. Why did they cut out the book of Enoch from the Bible?
Dude, it's all about manipulation, dude.
Yeah.
It's all about, so religion is power, you know what I mean?
Right.
And chaos is power. And cutting people in half
That's power.
is power.
That's power.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like what's going on with our
crusade,
fucking left
dude.
and right now. Everybody fucking can't love each other because assholes out there,
No.
you know, like in higher spots. I understand that things need to be different. But like going in on Chicago, is that right?
Oh, you talking about the National Guard coming in?
Oh, is that
I don't know.
right?
He's testing for something, dude. I don't know.
Is that not the start to
It sounds crazy.
a martial law?
Sounds
is that
crazy.
not a start to martial law? They already did it with fucking Washington D.C.
D.C.
And now they're talking Baltimore and Chicago, and these are big fucking.
I think there's another
areas.
place in Texas too.
But it's like, is that
Could be
even
wrong.
lawful? Like executive order, executive order, executive
I don't
order.
know, man. Let's
Hey.
we'll just we have to see. There has to be. You have to. I want to trust
I
that
get
there.
cleaning up our fucking
wanna-
shit, but like,
I want to trust there's another plan. behind
where
it.
are you putting these people in hospitals? Where are you doing fucking like some kind of like mental evaluations on people
No,
like they
we're
used to
putting
do
them
back
in a- we're putting
in
them
the
in a
day?
meat grinder and feeding them back to themselves.
Yeah. But are they putting them in hospital? That's what they say, right? We're giving them places.
I don't know. When they cleaned up San Francisco, whenever
Where'd they put them?
Xi Jinping came over, remember the mayor?
Yeah, where did they put them?
Exactly. No one knows. They never came back either.
Oh god, that's wild, isn't it?
Where'd they go?
But going back to like this ripple effect and Mandela effects and shit,
I love talking about like time travel and stuff like that. And the
there were some weird ones. Oh, time travel. Look, and that's another thing. Like, is that rippling? Has there been time travel with like even with the Nazis back in the day? They had the Die Glocke bell, and they were said to
Now I
have
know
been
what
able
you're
to use
talking
it.
about, yeah.
Which there was this bell-shaped object which they supposedly
It would hum
went
and hover
to the
and emit
future with.
light, yeah.
Yes, and if they did something like that, that would be something that would bend time and could put our universes into like a ripple with a parallel universe as it jumps.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that way it could be a cause of so many of these Mandela effects that we have today. There's like some of them
will
I
get
look
me.
at and I'm like, okay, but do you remember Shazam?
I know this. I know this one.
Sinbad.
I can see. I remember the movie.
Yeah,
I do.
I do too.
I have slowly become convinced over time that I'm just confusing it.
No. There was Kazam, but there was Shazam.
But I see the kid that's in the movie with Shaq, and that's the same kid that was in the movie with Sinbad.
No, that's what they have you believing.
Probably. Who knows, dude?
Or that is just a ripple, dude. It might have melted into each other,
Maybe.
and now you're just remembering.
What
I
about
don't know.
what about the cornucopia on the?
I remember the
Fruit of Loom?
cornucopia on Fruit of a Loom.
Fruit of the Loom. I
Loom.
remember that clear as day.
Yep.
It was clear as day.
Yeah.
Right behind.
Who doesn't
Fruit of the
remember that? Comment on that one, guys. Who does not remember the cornucopia? Who does remember the cornucopia? Like, I remember the cornucopia on Fruit of a Loom.
Loom. Clear as day.
Yeah, clear. Yeah. Yeah, there's no just fruit.
I can remember the colors: purple grapes, orange, like an apple.
So the Monopoly one,
With the monocle?
there are some some boards or whatever pictures that actually feature him with a monocle, but very few.
Right.
So
And I mean, how are you going to be believing pictures off the internet? When I mean, what is it? Got to be real, right?
yeah, you can Photoshop AI anything. nowadays.
Anything, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You can make fucking John and Dane kiss if you want on the
Oh, God,
internet.
it's probably coming up. Damn it.
No.
That's next.
No, no. I've only made him kiss a girl named Brittany. Some of these Mandela effects though, are fucking wild.
So consider this: what if that is further proof to the simulation theory?
Explain the simulation theory
Simulation theory suggests
in
that.
your words.
All right, so take the increasing amount of technology that we have. See how fast our technology is. Imagine playing Sega Genesis back whenever it first came out, Nintendo Super Mario.
I remember that.
To now,
I don't have to imagine.
Right, exactly. To
I remember.
now, virtual reality, and how fast we've grown. Now, tack on another 100 years, tack on another 500, tack on another 1,000 years of us progressing at this speed technologically. Hypothetically, we would have created a game or a computer that can generate a simulation that's so realistic that you can't tell the difference
Distinguish.
you can't distinguish between real and fake.
Because we think so you're saying, well, I am
And if
AI
that's-
already.
And if that's where we're headed, who's to say that we haven't already done that? And that's what we are right now. Why can we
We're
not?
just game pieces.
Why can't we travel outside of our solar system? Why can't we get possibly even past the Van Allen radiation belt?
Because we've just been dropped into a game as an avatar.
Why
Is
are
that what you're saying?
why do photons act depending on how you view them. And like, if you look at them, if you observe them, they act like a particle. If you don't observe them, they act like a wave, like a photon wave.
So you're saying they're not just an energy when you look at them, but
It's almost conscious.
they're a photon. But when you don't look at them, they turn into an actual mass of energy.
No, when you look at them, they do. So it's almost,
so when you
like,
look at them, they turn into a massive energy.
Think of like a video game, like you're playing Grand Theft Auto, and you're like running through the town. You'll see way off on the horizon, you'll see buildings generating, right?
Okay.
Coming up. So that test that we did with the photons being observed or not almost suggests that things don't generate unless they're being observed for us to actually witness.
So it turns into a photon when being observed.
It turns into a particle.
Or it turns into a mass.
It behaves like a particle.
So it turns into a mass.
Right.
An actual physical
It
thing.
behaves like a mass, yes.
But when not being observed,
It acts like a light wave.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fucking wild?
So technically, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, it didn't fall.
So you're saying as soon as we're observed, we turn into a mass.
That's what.
And when we're not being observed,
Yeah.
we're probably just running around as a photon, like a particle. Like
It's the laws of the quantum realm, dude. It's insane. Things
but
exist and don't exist at the same
still
time.
think that we have knowledge of what we're doing while we're not being perceived.
I mean, that goes in the philosophy of free will. Yeah.
But as soon as someone sees you, then you become physical.
Well, you're existing. That's where the simulation theory comes in. Is like maybe consciousness itself is generating the reality around us. So you, as a conscious being,
So I'm
when you witness,
I'm making my own fucking thing happen.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Because you know what? That would make so much sense.
like we're in a video game rendering our
Yeah, but
world
I've
in front
actually
of us.
fucking manifested my own fucking destiny. Would be like the name of the goddamn game. You know, manifest destiny, like that old game.
It'll take you all the way down to Schrodinger's cat. Like the cat's alive, both alive and dead in the box. Same thing applies to us in this room. We're not witnessing what's outside of this room. So technically, everything outside this room doesn't exist.
Dude, so I only manifest what's in there with my not even physical being,
Your reality.
my pineal gland or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever, my microchip, my
Your
whatever the
consciousness,
fuck's inside me.
Whatever consciousness is. Yeah. That's the simulation theory.
That'd be too wild.
And that in a fun way to think about it is imagine at the end of life you wake up and you're in a game room and you're like on an alien planet playing Earthling on a game
And just being
and
like
you lived
some kind of
85
energy.
years.
Like
And
you
you're some kid playing a game in an arcade on another planet. And you pop up out of
I'm
it.
just somebody's dream.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
I'm just somebody they woke up. Well, here's the thing: is if you want to get into some crazy shit, like everything acts like an atom.
What do you mean?
Like
How so? What do you
like
mean?
like even our world is like just a bigger.
Oh, yeah. Our
you
solar
know,
system.
and because atoms, they have electrons and they have protons and they're neutron and there's electrons and protons
Yeah.
are going around, and like that's kind of like
you
our
have the
solar
galaxy-
system.
you have the galaxy
yeah,
doing that
there's
too.
so many of them doing that. Imagine it just being bigger and bigger, and we're just like energy. All of us are like fungus energy that's growing on this planet, on this atom, that's fucking actually feeding our atom to thrive,
And then that
because
world,
it's eating us.
And then that world is in
It's
itself.
really essentially eating us.
Yeah.
Our planet does. When we die, what happens? They put us in boxes or whatever. If we didn't fucking get put in boxes, if we died naturally, what would happen? We would just absorb into our ground. Right. Our bones would be eaten and picked off and shit by like birds.
which sounds
like
the way it should be.
And energy would just be released into the earth of
Right.
collective. And there is a theory like the CIA has that when you die, your energy goes into a collective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Talking about the Gateway
yeah, but
project.
yeah, but so your energy does go into like a collective. It's being soaked into the earth, or
Right.
anything that is around that takes your energy, whether it be the tree or the person choking you to death, like whatever it is. If it's the grass, the flowers,
Yeah.
whatever it is, the animal that fucking took you, like whatever it is, it's taking your energy and it's making it stronger. Like, do you think this is almost a reason why they take the fear gland from little kids because they can't really stop? And
Wait,
you can
hold
do
on.
it in a
What do you-
mass
hold on.
process,
What do you mean fear? What?
like adrenochrome,
Oh, okay.
Like-
Yeah, you took a leap there for a second.
and try to. Well, it,
So you're talking about like national pedophiles.
it would keep you from.
pedophile ring.
Well, I wasn't even going to go into that. I'm just saying that's why
they're like-
people take.
eating babies and stuff.
That's why people take their fear and their life is to get their strength and their energy from them.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard-
what I'm
I've
saying.
heard this.
It's like in Tibet or whatever it was, like on that show, what it was 1,000 Ways to Die or That Faces of Death or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw it, and they take like this monkey, and the monkey has its head up through the middle of the table.
Oh,
So,
no.
and they take these little mallets and they just crack the monkey over the head while it's alive until they fucking crack its fucking skull open. Then they break open the skull and fry it in front of them.
While
And then
it's
they
still
eat this
alive.
fucking they eat this monkey's brain. Yeah, and it's supposed to give them like knowledge and power. Now imagine if people like that we're trying that with humans to get more knowledge and power.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened. I guarantee you.
But people
100%.
believe in that type of shit, and it makes sense because you are taking the energy from something right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're getting energy. You're getting the collective of that energy. That's why you do it.
There was that Serbian war, Bosnian war, whatever, back in the 80s, and one of the generals over there, one of the like rebel generals, was known for doing child sacrifices where he would hang the child upside down and bleed them out overnight and then eat them after they die and feed them to his army before they go into battle.
Well, even in biblical times, didn't they have like fucking child sacrifices all the time?
Yeah.
Do you think that was like to create energy for the person sacrificing so they could have the strength to live longer and do other things?
I think it was
because God was telling them, sacrifice your kid.
Well, that was what was his name? No.
On the fucking mountain.
Oh, I'm terrible at remembering stuff.
Yeah,
and at the very last second, he was about to,
and he said no. But you don't think that he's done that multiple times, made multiple people, because it was just normal. He was just about to do it. Yeah. He was just about to kill his fucking kid because God told him to. Did he eat the fucking wrong berries? Or was there a fucking something telling him, do it?
The burning bush.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's a little wild. But there's fucking stories of sacrificing kids, even in biblical times. Like, I'm just saying, like, is it an energy release thing?
The burning bush, this just crossed my mind, and here's a fun theory about that. So you know the story of the burning bush? Where
the lightning strike.
Moses went up on the mountain.
Yeah.
The bush was on fire. He spoke to the
came
bush.
back down with the Ten Commandments.
I am he. He came back down. There's a theory that the burning bush refers to the very popular bush there called the acacia tree. And the acacia tree has very high amounts of DMT.
Oh, okay.
So burning bush, maybe smoking the acacia tree, because you can dilute it down and extract the DMT.
Or that motherfucker was on fire.
Maybe Moses met God.
Yeah, maybe he was on fire. Maybe he got hit like goddamn lightning. He comes up over to this motherfucker, inhales it, trying to put it out or whatever. And then next thing you know, he's all fucked up, and he's like, he got it all over him. It's soaked into him and shit. He's all fucked up. Oh, God.
He just gets smoke inhalation and has a near-death experience.
But there are a lot of
biblical stories
that have accuracies to them.
Yeah.
Like,
so I was listening to a pod the other day, and it was strictly biblical talk. It was very interesting to listen to. So Bible literally just means library. The word library. Okay. So when they refer to the Bible, they're talking about a collection of stories, which is your books, your Gospels. You know, the Book of David and Matthew and all of the above.
Enoch,
which they took out. They shouldn't have. Enoch is interesting. Enoch is the one that talks about aliens and stuff, which is really fun.
Yeah, about how people were created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like the Bible is a book of stories. What they find interesting is the fact that these stories were gathered and combined into this library or Bible, and they find stories that are consistent across books. There's a lot of stories within the singular books that aren't consistent across all of the books. But whenever you have stories that I can't specifically give an example right now, but just for an example, say like the birth of Jesus Christ was a story that was mentioned in each book. You know, it was foretold in each book. So that suggested it was an actual historical event.
Right.
Which is fun.
But we do know how the grapevine effect works, right?
Absolutely.
Where you talk to one person, there's a chain of people, and by the end, like you tell them one story, like Mary went to the store to go get a can of beans, and there's 20 people it goes through, and by the time it comes back to you, you're the 21st person. Yeah. It's Michael went to the casino and he spent $400 on a hooker. Yeah. And you're like, what?
What's fun about that is, you know how they found most of these books, like with the copper scrolls and the clay tablets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They found them in caves and it had a lot of biblical stories in it. Well, they found those back in like the 70s in a cave somewhere in like a rock or something, right? They had the book of Isaiah and the copper scrolls and clay tablets and stuff in that cave, and compared it to the King James version, and it's almost word for word. Really? But yet over 1,000 years separation of being found.
That's wild.
So that's
a good run.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.